watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 23rd of April. US lawmakers ask Pakistan to act against terror groups, condemn Pahalgam attack. UN flags forced conversions of Hindu and Christian minor girls in Pakistan. And Nepal's Home Minister resigns from month-old government. And now for all the details. US lawmakers have strongly condemned the Pahalgam terror attack, urging Pakistan to act decisively against terror groups operating from its soil. The remarks came during an exhibition in Washington highlighting the human cost of terrorism. We have a report.
U.S. Congressman Brad Sherman has urged Pakistan to act against terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba, linked to the 2025 Pahalgam attack. Speaking at an Indian embassy exhibition in Washington marking the attack's first anniversary, he along with several other lawmakers paid tribute to the 26 victims. Held at Capitol Hill, the exhibition highlighted major global terror attacks, including the Mumbai blasts and Pahalgam, and pointed to Pakistan-based outfits. Lawmakers from both parties called for stronger global cooperation, intelligence sharing, and joint action to combat terrorism.
This clearly was an offshoot of the LET, an organization which unfortunately has found sanctuary in Pakistan. And as the world focuses on Islamabad, where the talks are taking place or not taking place or might be taking place, we have to use this as an opportunity to demand that the Pakistani government clamp down on the LET and the JDM and other terrorist groups. America and India are united because we are the oldest democracy and India is the largest democracy. But we are also united in mourning the victims of terrorism.
In the aftermath of Pahalgam terror attack, India launched Operation Sindoor on May 7, 2025, targeting terror infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, including training centers of LET and Jaish-e-Mohammed. Pakistan later also launched offensives against India. The military conflict between the two nuclear-armed neighbors, lasting nearly 88 hours, halted after they reached an understanding on May 10.
Because what unites us is so much bigger than what divides us. And terrorism is something that very few people agree with. But if we don't stand together and denounce it in front of the whole world, people think we agree with it. And that's what I said, silence is agreement. So I'm happy to be here with our partner to stand arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder to denounce terrorism.
Meanwhile, Congressman Richard McCormick described terrorism as a shared threat to India and the United States, calling for unity against extremist forces that undermine freedom and diversity.
Terrorism is everyone's problem. Those who would rid our diversity through violence, those who do not accept us for who we are, that's the one minority that I despise. I am with you, can't wait to work with you. We will have peace through strength. God bless you.
Moving on. Millions of voters turned up to cast their ballot as India's West Bengal and Tamil Nadu states held key assembly elections on Thursday. The high-stakes contest is being closely watched as an indicator of public sentiment towards the ruling coalition at the national level.
Voters turned up early at polling stations as voting got underway in India's Tamil Nadu state on Thursday, with top celebrities and political leaders drawing large crowds as they arrived at polling stations to cast their ballots. Among them was actor-turned-politician Vijay, whose presence triggered excitement among fans and party supporters gathered outside booths. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also exercised his franchise and urged citizens to participate actively in the democratic process. Tamil Nadu's political landscape has long been shaped by influential public figures, with leaders like M.G. Ramachandran, J. Jayalalitha, and M. Karunanidhi leaving a lasting imprint on the state's political discourse. In Tamil Nadu, a coalition that includes the PM Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party is expected to mount a close challenge against the ruling regional party, DMK.
Nice to feel that I'm doing this for my state. So hoping that There will be a lot of development for Tamil Nadu.
Meanwhile, in West Bengal state, millions of voters also queued up in the early hours to cast their ballots in what is being seen as a high-stakes contest. The BJP, which has never governed the state, currently run by longtime Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's TMC, is aiming to expand its footprint and has said it seeks to curb illegal immigration from neighboring Bangladesh.
अरेंजमेंट तो एकदम बिल्कुल ठीक है, कोई ऐसा नहीं है। और इस साल का वोट तो मतलब इस बार का वोट ये तो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है इस ईयर के बाद, तो सब कुछ अच्छा ही लगा, हो गया सुबह सुबह।
Across both states, voters said they were motivated by aspirations for development and progress. While state assembly elections do not directly impact the stability of India's federal government, they are closely watched as a key indicator of public sentiment toward the ruling coalition at the national level.
And Germany expects to soon sign a final agreement with India for a planned $8 billion submarine cooperation between the two countries, Defense Minister Boris Pistorius told reporters on Wednesday. I am very confident that I will be able to sign it soon, Pistorius said, adding he expected a signing within the next 3 months. The planned deal has been in the making for months and is spearheaded by German warship maker TKMS and India's Mazagon Dock shipbuilders. During Rajnath Singh's 3-day visit to Germany, the two countries signed a defense industrial cooperation roadmap and an implementing arrangement for cooperation in US peacemaking training. The agreements aim to boost institutional collaboration, joint training and capability development while creating a framework for co-development and co-production of military equipment in niche and emerging technologies. Both sides also reviewed broader defense and security cooperation, linking the initiative to the India-EU security and defense partnership for wider regional impact.
Ein besonderer Schwerpunkt unserer Beziehung und unserer Zusammenarbeit ist die Rüstungskooperation. Das deutsch-indische U-Boot-Projekt P75-1 gilt als, das kann man ohne Übertreibung sagen, potenzielles Leuchtturmprojekt. Da geht es um die Produktion von 6 U-Booten in Indien. Aktuell laufen die innerstaatlichen Abstimmungsprozesse. Ich bin sehr, sehr zuversichtlich, schon bald unterzeichnen zu können.
And UN experts have raised serious concerns over the continued pattern of abduction and forced religious conversion through marriage involving women and girls from minority communities in Pakistan. They warned that impunity is enabling such practices to persist and call for urgent legal and institutional reforms. According to the experts, about 75% of victims in 2025 were Hindu, while 25% were Christian, with nearly 80% of reported cases occurring in Sindh province. Adolescent girls aged 14 to 18 are most at risk, though some victims are even younger. The experts stress that any religious conversion must be free of coercion and that child marriage cannot meet the standard of full and informed consent. Victims often face abuse, exploitation, stigma, and long-term trauma. They urged Pakistan to criminalize forced conversions as a separate offense, raise the legal marriage age to 18 nationwide, and ensure strict enforcement of laws on trafficking and sexual violence. They also call for prompt investigations, accountability for perpetrators, and strong support systems including shelters, legal aid, and counseling for survivors. And in the recent political development, Nepal's Home Minister Sudan Gurung resigned on Wednesday, saying there had been questions over his investments and other matters. With this, Gurung has become the second minister to go from the month-old government. The 38-year-old announced his departure on social media and said the questions should be investigated without going into greater detail. Gurung came into the spotlight after he ordered the arrest of former PM KP Sharma Oli and his Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak in connection with an investigation into their roles during a crackdown on Gen Z protests last September. Deepa Dehel, an aide to new Prime Minister Balendra Shah, told Reuters about Gurung handing over his resignation to the PM. Rapper turned politician Shah, who gained popularity for his reforms as mayor of capital Kathmandu, became prime minister after his Rashtriya Swatantra Party, which had promised to control corruption, provide good governance and transparency, was swept into power in the recent parliamentary election. Earlier this month, Shah dismissed his Labour Minister Deepak Kumar Saha on charges that he misused the dignity of his position to get his wife appointed as a member of the Board of Directors of the Health Insurance Board. Moving on. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, in a telephone conversation with his Sri Lankan counterpart Vijayda Herath on Wednesday, expressed gratitude to Colombo for its assistance in rescuing sailors and facilitating the transfer of the remains of Iranian naval personnel killed in an attack on the vessel Iris Dana off Sri Lanka coast. According to a statement from Iran's embassy in Sri Lanka, Dr. Araghchi condemned the attack on the Iris Dana, describing it as an unprecedented war crime by the United States. He further stressed that the Iranian nation would never forget the assault, which he said constituted a grave violation of international humanitarian law and the 1949 Geneva Conventions. The two ministers also discussed ways to strengthen bilateral relations, underscoring the importance of cooperation in the face of regional and international challenges. The Iris Dana sank south of Sri Lanka on 4th March this year after being struck by a US submarine torpedo approximately 20 nautical miles west of Sri Lanka's Gale. Of the estimated 180 crew members on board the vessel, around 87 sailors were reported dead. Approximately 32 survivors were rescued by the Sri Lankan Navy and admitted to hospitals in Gale. And that's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.